Welcome to By the Railside Podcast. I'm Zach. That's Jordan. You did it.
Barely any movement.
We're gonna nail it on the next one for sure.
Are you saying I haven't been nailing it?
It's been a wobble. Bit of
Fuck you. It's for the people with Parkinson's. So it's all-inclusive episode.
Only if they watch it on YouTube.
Yeah.
Audio, you.
I guess I could talk like this the entire time. I don't know how that's gonna come across. It's probably just a lot of cheek. It's a lot of jowl movement. See that in post. Turn that all the way down. No, it's fine. It's my own mouth.
Yeah.
Everyone else's gives me issues. Mine, I'm perfectly fine. I can make a whole bunch. Well, because I've been making weird noises my entire life.
Yeah, that's true.
Because I'm probably autistic.
Yeah.
I feel like I should probably go to a doctor for a lot of these things where I'm like, yeah, I probably have this. Like, I'm like 88% sure that I have ADHD.
Yeah.
I always have to be doing something.
I think that's just because of the times, though, now. Because now everyone, like, there's always something in front of you. Like, people are always doing things.
Yeah.
Whereas before, like, all that excess energy was spent because you went outside to do things in the old days.
False.
I
You
said
had
the
Xbox
old days.
360.
Not our old days.
No, it's also because you got beat if you weren't paying attention. Like,
Yeah.
they gave teachers permission and giant sticks to hit kids if they weren't paying attention. I remember we went to that weird, like, it was like a museum, but we all had to dress up when we were kids.
Oh, yeah.
And, like, I remember getting flicked in the back of the head by the headmistress.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't sitting up straight.
Yeah, screw that. Like,
And ever since then.
you should have tried fucking, just to avoid the split. Don't do that.
Yeah, I got faster reflexes in my head.
It's like, no, I lost it. I had it, and then I went for another joke.
Uh-oh.
Shit. Nope, it's gone.
Sorry.
That's okay.
You guys will never know how funny that was.
It was hilarious.
It wasn't very funny.
I imagine at least 3 people laughing.
That's all of our viewers.
Yeah.
No way your joke hit that hard. I got 100% viewership every time I make a comedy joke.
Absolutely.
I'm better than Amy Schumer.
Yeah. That's not saying a lot.
Yeah, fair enough. That's like saying you're a better person than Hitler.
Hey, Amy Schumer, you listen to this? Come on our podcast so we can say, fuck you.
No. Give me 3 years before you come on the podcast because I need to have gender reassignment surgery so I can fucking fight you.
What lengths will you go to fight? I'll tuck it right in.
No penis. It's snip, you know? I am that committed.
To beating Amy Schumer.
Yeah, only Amy Schumer, though. I've never met I've never met Amy Schumer. God willing, I never will.
That'd be like the one celebrity. You're like, hey, just so you know, like, there's a celebrity going to be in. And you'd be like, oh, sick. Oh, I'm so pumped.
Who is it?
Hi, I'm Amy. Fuck! Just.
You guys ever have it when you're like having sex and your pussy's just like? That's a direct quote.
Yeah. From her or from the
from the person that she stole it from. Yeah. I believe his name was Dwayne.
Speaking of thieves, we watched Avengers Endgame.
Now, who's the thief?
At the very end, he stole the rocks.
Who?
Tony.
He didn't steal them.
Yeah, Thanos had him, and he stole them.
Yeah, but they had him first, so Thanos.
Where did you think I was going with that?
No, I just wanted to know who you're talking about.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're trying to do a segue, and it was
successful.
Let's be honest. That was a 2 out of 10.
At least 3 people like that segue.
Stop bringing up our 3 viewers. I swear to God, we're gonna get a 4th viewer just to spite you. Be like, yeah, this guy's jokes suck.
Yeah. Boo! Oh, boo me?
Don't boo me. I'm right.
But yes, this week we watched Avengers Endgame. We're coming up on the close of the Infinity Saga, and it sucks. I'm pretty bummed, but it's okay because there are more Marvel properties and TV shows and everything coming out. So at least I will be happy um, for like an hour.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what's that like?
Yeah.
Where can I get that? They don't have it at Walmart.
No, they don't sell it at Walmart.
Fucking
It'd be
bullshit.
pretty cheap though if they did.
Roll back these prices. How about you roll back these emotions, huh?
Yeah.
Why don't they sell therapy at Walmart for a low
Uh,
price?
have you seen their customers, realistically?
Yeah, they do have a whole website devoted to them. People at Walmart. But it's not the customers, it's the employees.
That's true. Also, if you've gotten this far, don't forget to follow us on the socials. You know,
Twitter, Spotify, TikTok, YouTube, Twitter,
Instagram,
Instagram.
the picture Twitter.
We don't have Facebook.
No, never will.
Zark Fuckerberg.
Yeah.
Join the metaverse. Join my nut.
Yeah, you can learn all about us and the amount of social media work that we don't do. What else we got? Let's touch on the Hawkeye episode. We watched the Hawkeye episode.
Yep.
By the time this is out, you'll have time to see it, so I don't care about spoilers right now. But Yelena's back.
Yeah.
Best character by far, MCU.
Entire MCU.
The sass that comes out of her and just the direct, straightforward. She pretty much, I feel like, represents a millennial.
She is a millennial, isn't she?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know how old she is.
Like millennial bordering on Gen Z. Gen Z is a little bit more nihilistic.
Yeah, but best there. Nice little character being brought back in the Kingpin.
Vincent D'Onofrio.
Yeah.
Is that his name?
Yep.
Fuck yeah. First try.
So
Not even
stoked.
on my phone.
If you watch the Netflix Daredevil series, you'll know exactly who we're talking about. If you have not watched that series, go watch it. Very well done. The actors who did Kingpin and Daredevil, who probably going to be in the next Spider-Man.
Maybe not Daredevil. Maybe he's a lawyer. Maybe he's just a guy.
Little Matt Murdock. But yeah, fantastic series. Great acting throughout. Also brings in the Punisher, so go check that out too. And then go check out Spider-Man this weekend. It comes out the Friday before this releases. We're going to see it on Sunday for sure. We'll be out of town. If I wasn't out of town, then we would go fucking see it Saturday probably, because we don't usually go to opening nights.
Yeah, no, fuck that.
Too many people. But yeah, wear your mask, do all that safety shit, and then go see Spider-Man No Way Home. It's going to be sick. But on to the second last movie, Avengers Endgame. Emotional roller coaster. Fantastic ending. Great send-offs for characters. Great action. But tell us what it's all about, Jordan.
We're going to throw it to a classic Blazer 346. After half of all life is snapped away by Thanos, the Avengers are left scattered and divided. Same thing. Now, with a way to reverse the damage, the Avengers and their allies must assemble once more and learn to put differences aside in order to work together and set things right. Along the way, the Avengers realize that sacrifices must be made as they prepare for the ultimate final showdown with Thanos, which will result in heroes fighting the biggest battle they have ever faced. I gotta talk to Blazer. Like, I understand if you're like, you want to entice it, but this is supposed to be a summary of the movie.
Yeah.
Not a synopsis. What's the difference?
I don't know.
It's sort of like the difference between scattered and divided.
Yeah.
Like, those are pretty much the same thing. This one's a little bit more organized.
Yeah.
Sort of like Thanos was a little bit more organized than the Avengers.
Absolutely. That man was a beast. He destroyed them all in Infinity War. Slorped away. And then we get to Avengers Endgame, and the opening on this was just a punch in the gut. Fucking cold open, so there's no like intros or anything like that. And it jumps right into Hawkeye, being with his family, hanging out on the farm, enjoying his plea deal that he took.
He got a much better deal than Scott.
Yeah,
Like
100%.
he could go outside.
Yeah,
I guess. Well, I guess he has more property. But Scott was like stuck to a fucking apartment pretty much
yeah,
and a small yard. Clint got the better deal.
100%.
If I was Scott, I'd be like, Clint, can I come stay with you?
Yeah,
Is that allowed? I kind of want to know like why Scott got his off earlier. Because he got his off at the end of Ant-Man and the Wasp,
yeah,
and that was right before, I guess right after that, the snapping happened.
yeah.
But Clint was still wearing his at the beginning of Endgame.
Oh, was he wearing?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
It was very, very slight, but you saw it like it panned down to his ankle randomly.
Maybe they were on the way to take it off.
Oh,
Since
and then
he
they just
lived
got
in
snapped
fucking nowhere.
away.
Yeah.
I guess that makes sense. Yeah. I just thought it was weird because like I don't know the deals that they took. Maybe because Clint was a more established superhero.
Yeah.
So then they were like, yeah, no.
So that and he came out of retirement
Yeah.
to do it.
And he knew about the Accords. Scott
Yeah.
was sort of just a criminal who could become small, and the Falcon's like, yeah, I know a guy.
Yeah.
He'll help us. He's already a criminal.
Yeah.
That probably wasn't a hard sell. That was
No.
probably just like, hey, Scott, do you want to meet Captain America? Also, you have to fight some people.
Yeah.
But you get to meet Captain America. And he was just like, yeah, where's the van?
Yeah. Captain America.
You're awesome.
Thanks for thanking of me.
I know you too.
Yeah.
You're awesome. I feel like Scott Lang is just every normal person meeting a celebrity.
Oh, 100%.
It's like, wow. Oh, God, there's another one.
Yeah. Just running around with a little book. Can you sign this, please?
I want to know as well, like, what the fuck Barton's wife was thinking. Like, why are her two options for hot dogs mayonnaise or mustard?
Yeah.
Like, that's not a classic combination. That's not even a normal combination.
No. Mustard on a hot dog is a big thing in the States.
No, I'm not. I have no
But
issues with mustard on
the
a hot
mayonnaise.
Mayonnaise on a hot dog? No, I barely put mayonnaise on burgers.
Yeah.
You got lettuce on it? Yeah, I'll put a little bit on the bun to help it stick, but that's about it.
Yeah. No, it was pointed out by both Clint and his daughter. They're like, who puts mayo on a hot dog?
And he blamed the brothers, and
Yeah.
then the youngest brother's just like, how about ketchup?
Yeah. How about we be normal?
The
Like,
sassiest kid in the fucking world. Like,
Yeah.
Excuse me, Mom? How about you stop being such a weirdo?
yeah.
Heinz?
And then I don't really care what kind of ketchup. I'm not a.
No name?
Yeah, if it's cheap,
French?
I've had it.
Never.
French's?
I don't deal with French. Qu'est-ce que c'est? No. The only qu'est-ce que c'est I want is...
Qu'est-ce que fuck you?
Bum, 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 bum.
But yeah, and then they get fucking dusted as everyone's going for lunch. And the acting by Jeremy Renner in that was unreal. Like, you could feel the pain. I know when we saw it in theaters for the first time, that scene, I'm pretty sure it got like both of us. Like, we were both like the push it down. Like, this is like the emotional reaction. Just like, no.
I didn't really have a huge emotional reaction to this one. Like, when I first saw it, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
But I find the emotional impact is kind of lessened over the years. Maybe it's just because I know the ending. Like, everyone comes back.
Yeah.
Except for Natasha. Whoops.
Whoops.
And also Vision. Whoops.
Oh, no.
Which I feel like they could have got Viz back. Maybe.
Maybe.
I would have just, like, because you can wish it. Like, I want everyone to come back. Anyone that was died because of Thanos' search for the stones.
Ooh, that could be a lot of people though.
Yeah. Most of them aren't from Earth, so at that point I don't really
Yeah.
care. It's like I'm
Fuck
like
the other
yeah, the
planets.
typical human. We have the Avengers. I don't give a fuck about any other planets.
Yeah.
Just like Natasha kind of said, or no, it was Rocket. Like, what the fuck have you been doing, Miss Marvel?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you know how this happened everywhere? I'm dealing with all of these planets. Like, I'm just one half human.
Yeah. Are we gonna see you here next month, Carol? No, probably not. Why? You got another haircut?
Yeah. Okay. Which I kind of want to point some out about the haircut. I don't know if it was just like a random thing or if it's a little nod to Miss Rambo,
Oh.
because you find out in Scarlet Witch,
WandaVision?
WandaVision, that one, yeah. You find out that uh, Wanda Rambo's mom had cancer during
Yeah.
those 5 years, right? And you see Captain Marvel at the very beginning of this movie, long hair, and then at the end of the 5 years, she's got fairly short hair.
Yeah.
So do you think maybe she like shaved her head or like got a
Ooh.
haircut in? Uh,
Solidarity?
that's the word. I was gonna say consolidation, but that's not right. Solidarity with Miss Rambo the first.
That could be. That makes a lot of sense.
That's what I thought originally, which makes Rocket even more of an asshole
Yeah.
for saying that, because like he definitely would have known,
hmm
unless he just doesn't care about anyone. Well, like, he doesn't give a shit about anyone.
Yeah. I think the only one he worries about is, well, his Guardians family. That's.
Even then, like not all of them.
Yeah.
Groot is his number one. No, he's number one. Groot is number two, and then the other ones that he knows,
Yeah.
and then there's Mantis,
Yeah.
because he doesn't ever refer to her by name. It's always the
Yeah.
bug lady or something like
The one with
that.
the antennas.
Yeah,
But yeah, it's true. You get that. It definitely had a lesser of an impact. I think watching them in order consistently kind of helped it a little bit, because if I just watch it like just on its own, just because it's a good movie, um, don't really have that many effects. But I think the way we did it, we're starting at the beginning and then going all the way through again, sort of helps build that, because you get hooked in the story again and hooked back into the characters.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, and then getting them once they come back and they realize, hey, like we can, they're all there trying to figure out how they can find Thanos or kill Thanos, and Tony coming back after being out in space for so long and just about dying, being found by Captain Marvel. That whole sequence was good. I don't know if it was just CG or if Robert Downey Jr. actually got that way, or they sort of put his face on a body like they did for Captain America. But he looked like just gaunt, struggling, like he looked apart, like he'd been in space for a while.
yeah. I think it was over. It was almost a month. It was like 20 some odd days. He sort of goes over it with in his final message to Pepper. I don't know if it was just like sheer dumb luck that Captain Marvel found them, or well, I guess if she was on her way to Earth, then she might have
Yeah,
found them, because they were obviously going towards Earth when their engines died, so they were just sort of drifting. But she was on her way because she got a page from Nick Fury,
yeah,
which, if you've been following us for this long, you know, because it was the second movie that we watched, and it was a post-credit scene in that one.
yeah. But I don't think so, because she, in the post-credit scene for Infinity War, she was already there being like, where's Fury? So I think she just sort of walked in on them. Um, the Russo brothers have confirmed, like, there was a beacon. Like, there's obviously a homing beacon
Yeah.
on there, or like an emergency beacon on, sort of like the same how the Guardians came across um, Thor's ship in the
Yeah.
beginning of Infinity War. So I think, for the most part, like if you're dealing with space travel and stuff like that, or you're that type of society, um, there's gonna be that beacon, and it'll sort of be like a generic, um, like, oh, the beacons go out at this frequency or type deal.
Yeah.
So
Well,
you can
that
sort of,
and Rocket was on Earth, right?
yeah.
So, and that's technically his ship.
Mm-hmm.
So he would have known more about it. So I guess, yeah, if they sent a beacon, Rocket would have been able to pick up on it, and they knew where they were and where they were going.
Yeah.
So they started out on Titan, and then they were going back to Earth. So I guess you would all just like fly to Titan, you'll find them.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe I would just like some explanation because like you get that little bit of exposition with like explaining why they're just sitting there in space, how long they've been in space. You could have thrown in and be like, yeah, we got the signal on, but nothing yet. So we're just sort of dead in the water.
Yeah.
I really really like the interaction between Stark and the Blue Meanie.
Yeah.
Just like that, just playing finger football. And her freaking the fuck out. Like when he flicks at her the first time, she takes a battle
Yeah.
stance. Like he's like, okay, you don't have to do that. We're gonna calm down.
Yeah.
And then, like for the first time in her goddamn life, she won something, and she was so happy.
Yeah. And it was like the congratulations that she got from Stark. I think that it also um, affected her as well because she didn't really have like that congratulatory like father type deal. Like,
Yeah.
hey, you did good. So I think that was one of the big reasons why she ended up being at his funeral. Um, Spoilers for the end of this podcast, but yeah, them finding it and then him actually getting off the ship and Cap running to hold him up, and um, it ends up bringing back again the emotions from the first movie when, even though it was a little bit more extended, but the fact that Peter dies and dies like in his arms, and you can see like when he's talking to Cap, he's like it's still there and affecting him.
Yeah.
Not as much as like him worrying like, hey, oh, is Pepper okay? Which is the next thing. Go to get the clues from him, and it was he starts freaking out because he's just delirious. But I think that whole scene was really done well, and they all had like it seemed like the appropriate reactions to what had just happened. The tones of everyone, the still like the same kind of goal coming from Cap, being like, hey, like, did he give you any clues? Like, we still got to stop this guy. Like, even though we've missed out on, or like we lost half of everyone, we got to make sure we don't lose the other half. Or if there's a way to reverse it, let's find him and let's get this done. But yeah, that whole scene I thought was unreal.
I really liked it. Like I think the reason Tony got so mad was because he could finally, or maybe not. He just felt a lot of emotions at the time, because you don't know how long it had been since he got back.
Yeah.
I'm assuming about like a couple hours because it was daytime when they were having that meeting, and he showed up at night. So I'm assuming they just had like left him for the night, hook him up to some juice, so that he's back to 12%. But everyone else I thought was like too calm. Like you can definitely feel the emotions in a lot of them. Like Thor, phenomenally done. Um, that shows like a little bit of PTSD, which you see in his performance. I thought that was really well done. Captain Marvel doesn't really know what's going on, so she's just sort of like, well, I'm a badass. I'll kill anything.
Yeah.
I can't say enough about Robert Downey Jr.'s performance in that as well. It kind of seemed a little over the top, but then you got to realize like he watched this kid who he basically roped in to being a superhero
Yeah.
vanish in front of him, which I still have issues with. Like, there's no way Thanos was like, yeah, everyone is gonna go, or like 50% of the universe gone. Peter Parker's going, but I want to give him an extra like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Just really fucking drive that nail into Tony Stark's thumb.
Yeah. It definitely. Maybe it wasn't playing, or it was probably playing on like Thanos' part. Like, hey, this kid seems important, or maybe he just did his research. But yeah, I think that was more just. I think it was actually written like a little bit shorter, but Robert Downey Jr. to like said Tom Holland be like, hey, no, like get into it, like come on, you can do better than that, and then that's what the scene ended up coming out to.
Yeah.
I also don't know if maybe that had to do with like the suit as well, being like the nanotech and stuff like that. Maybe like lengthen the time that it would take because it would work to be like, oh no, let's see if we can either fix it or something like that. I don't know. I think it was more just a bat at the audience being like, hey, what's up?
Yeah, that's all it was, and that's why I don't like it. Like
Yeah,
you got the emotional reaction, and then you just piled on top of it.
mm-hmm.
That's why I think it was just is super unnecessary. Because instead of me being like emotional with Tony because he just watched this kid gone, I'm instantly pulled out of it because in my head I'm like, there's no fucking need for that. Like, there's
Yeah,
no need for the 45 seconds of watching him fade away when everyone else was literally like Drax was just like Peter and then gone in 3 seconds.
yeah,
Like that. That's why I don't like it. It's just it was too drawn out with no real purpose because you got the emotionality out of it. Like
yeah,
that you could tell from Tony's face that he was definitely hurting because of it. I think maybe they just like filmed two of them and mixed them up or like added two sections together so it just seemed extra long.
yeah,
That's the biggest issue I think I have with Infinity War. It's just too much.
yeah. But yeah, throughout this one though, I didn't feel like anything was too much or too like either drawn out or forced. I know. Yeah, I got something to bring up for the final battle, but yeah, they get back on Earth. They finally go to. They find Thanos based on cosmic bursts of energy. Uh, Thor kills him, breaks down again, and yeah, Hemsworth's acting in this throughout, even though they made like everyone took away just Fat Thor. They're just like, oh yeah, Fat Thor, and he's hilarious. But his acting and just range in certain scenes was insanely done.
Mm-hmm.
I was very impressed with him, and you can tell for sure like he's back into it. Really loving the character again, especially coming out of Ragnarok and stuff. But even just the one scene when they're like, okay, well, we're gonna get the stones back. We figured out time travel because they got Tony to do that. And that scene where he's explaining the ether, that whole thing, you get like the sass. There's a bit of comedy in there, and then it leads into him just going almost into like a full breakdown. And then after that happens, then he goes and you see him transfer back over to his coping mechanism, which is drinking.
Yeah.
Um, the whole thing was just amazing. I really like he is one of the stars of the film. Like, I would put
Yeah.
him in like top 10.
Yeah. But like you said, most people are just like, haha, Fat Thor. Like, oh, he's a little sad. Like, that's an issue that I have with a lot of the MCU movies. It's not something that takes me away from the film. It's more of like an afterthought where it's like, wow, these movies are just like real life. Like they're downplaying men's mental health
Yeah.
issues. Like Tony's PTSD, I've talked about that before. That was complete bullshit. They did a little bit of a better job in this one, but I still think they could have had uh, a moment with someone, like maybe Korg, where like Thor breaks down. You
Yeah.
see a little bit of it, like as soon as Bruce says Thanos, you can see his whole demeanor change. That acting was phenomenally done as well.
Hmm.
But I would just like a realization, like he's hurting. It's very fucking obvious. He's gained how much weight. He's stopped shaving, stopped cutting his hair, stopped giving a shit about his personal hygiene. Like this is all things that you should notice. Like they're not, and it's not subtle either.
Yeah.
Like you haven't seen him for how many years now? Like obviously something's wrong,
Yeah.
but they downplay it. One thing I thought was kind of, I have to rewatch it just to make sure, but it seemed kind of like shoved down our throats, or maybe it was more of a complaints from the actors and actresses that there wasn't enough representation for women.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think it was when Captain Marvel went and grabbed the glove from Peter at the very end of the movie. Um, he's like, I don't know how you're gonna get it over the van all by yourself. And then I think it was Okoye was like, she's not alone. And
Mm-hmm.
then like every single woman from the MCU showed up.
Yeah.
There are definitely some women there that shouldn't have been there. Like Hope, for instance, she probably should have been helping, continue to help Scott with the teleporter.
Yeah.
Because like Scott doesn't know shit about it, really. He's good with machines. He's got his master's in mechanical engineering, but he doesn't know about the quantum physics and everything. Like he's the goon they send in.
Yeah.
He's the expendable one because he doesn't know as much as everyone. So uh, that one, I feel like Okoye 100% would not have left uh, T'Challa.
Well,
Like,
he had taken off, right?
yeah,
He was stuck under.
but I figured like their king just came back. She serves the throne. She would have been like super stoked. Which actually, there's another thing I learned about Black Panther that seems kind of fucked up. There's actually 6 tribes in Wakanda. So there's the Jabari, the River Tribe, the Mining Tribe, the Merchant Tribe, the Border Tribe, and then the Royal Tribe. Like, so I never realized it before. I thought it was just like anyone can fight for the right to be king of Wakanda,
Yeah.
but that's an actual tribe that has been ruling since they unified
Oh.
Wakanda.
All right.
Yeah, I think it was Straw Hat Goofy on TikTok. Check him out. He's got lots of comic book stuff. But yeah, I just figured like she wouldn't have left his side if he just came back. Um, Trying to think of anyone else in there. It just sort of seemed like it fit. Oh, and Pepper Potts. Get the fuck out of here. You don't know shit about the MCU.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's a Hawkeye? I'm gonna give you a black eye.
Yeah. I didn't. I agree with the about certain people just shouldn't be there. Um, but overall, like realistically, I didn't find it like there were people that find it way more forced. Like they think it's super forced and super pandering. Um, I at first I was like, oh, like that's a little odd. Having all of them there, but after rewatching it a couple times, it doesn't seem as forced as like how I've seen like some other things
Oh
or
yeah.
like other comedy things, and also it makes a little bit of sense just because of how they did it. If it was um, like say either Tony or maybe T'Challa or someone like that, and then they're like, "Oh, how are we gonna get it there?" And then they just put all the women forward there.
Yeah.
That would seem more out of place to me, but because it's Captain Marvel, it made a little bit more sense to me. But again, it you're right where it should be like there's certain people that have no need to be there, or they're like not gonna be as helpful.
Yeah.
I think like Mantis was there, and realistically, like her powers, like at least in the MCU, like she doesn't do really anything other than
Yeah.
like put people to sleep or make them feel different emotions. Like it's even in the Guardians, I didn't see her even really fight at all. It was more just either dodge shit or something like that.
Yeah. And then Gamora, I don't think should have been there.
Yeah, 'cause she didn't really know anything about
anyone.
Because it was future or past Gamora.
Yeah, 2014 Gamora when she was still under Thanos' thumb.
Yeah.
Because present day Gamora got ripped.
Yeah.
In the last movie. Also, it kind of bugged me where Hope came from. Because it's very, very slight, but you can see her fly in from behind them. Gross. Where she would have been in front. Because, like, she was coming from the van, so she shouldn't have been behind all these people. Yeah, other than that, I think everyone else sort of fit. I didn't really understand what Shuri was going to do. Like, she's just got...
The blasters on her.
Yeah. That screams long-range attack to me, not like... That's like a ranger in D&D, like running up to the big bad boss and like standing directly underneath him, like, come here, fucker.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta know your strengths. Yeah, and if you're support, you gotta support. You know.
Yeah.
That was really the only issue that I really had. I did have a fucking moment where my emotions almost bubbled over. It's the same moment every time. It's when everyone's like knocked on their ass, and then Cap with his half shield fucking just snakes Mjolnir.
Yeah.
Every single time, no matter what, it's always the symbol like push it down, bury it until it eats me alive, and I become Iron Man.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we'll talk more about the middle of the movie, but that final battle scene was just that Mjolnir doesn't get me so much. Like, definitely, I'm like, oh wow, like, this is like, it's a moment that had been building for a while, ever since Age of Ultron, when he kind of like nudged it, and everyone, like, it's always been a toss up, being like, oh, like, did he just do that and then realize that he could lift it and didn't lift it, or was he just not worthy then, type deal. But one of the things that gets me in that one is after, like, they get the shit kicked out of him, he finally stands back up, tightens his thing, goes up, you see him just by himself on that little rock facing Thanos' entire army, and then it's the on your left.
Yeah.
And you're like, holy shit. And then all these portals open up, and you realize, like, he's not alone, like, everyone's here. And then that, when he finally says, Avengers Assemble, that gets me every time, because I'm like, holy fuck. It's one of those moments you're just like, finally, everyone's been waiting for him to say it ever since the post-credit scene on... I think Age of Ultron again.
Yeah, it was.
Where he's like, Avengers, because that's Cap's line. And I don't know. You almost feel like if you feel with the character, where he's just like, I gotta stop this guy. And then all of a sudden you're just like, well, he's not alone. And then, so it's like, because you're so attached to the character, you're like, oh, I'm not alone. I don't know.
Oh, you're one of those weirdos that's like, you're watching it by yourself and you got a broom handle. As soon as he says Avengers Assemble, you get into like I have the power of God and anime on my side.
Absolutely. But yeah, it's that, and then that scene lasts for, I think, it's like 45 minutes. That one battle scene.
Well, yeah, it's the final climax of like the MCU. I guess phase 4 or whatever the fuck you want to call it.
Yeah.
I don't know what phase it's on right now.
Now it's phase 4.
I thought it was
technically, but that was phase 3.
Was it
Infinity Saga only went 3.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and now Feige says there's no more, but they're like no more phases, but everyone just categorizes it as.
Yeah, I mean, you've set the precedent. Like, you can't just change what it's called now.
Yeah. Well, sure you can.
No.
Doug Ford does it all the time. Anytime we get a different amount of COVID cases and we got to go into different color lockdowns or other levels or
yeah, I love how
letters.
It's the 4th wave. No, it's not. It's still the same fucking first wave.
Yeah.
Because we haven't had a period where there wasn't wave.
Yeah. Yeah. If there's 0 cases, Yeah, okay. Now it's a new wave.
Yeah, but no, it's not like a. There's the wave, and then there's a lull, and then a new wave starts. You don't just like, just start a second wave.
Yeah.
It's not how it works. You gotta like a wave in a stadium. You gotta let it go all the way around, and then it starts again. But no, if you stop halfway through the fucking thing, that's wave one.
Yeah.
You've completed half a wave. Get your fucking shots.
Yeah. And your boosters soon, at least in Ontario.
I'm gonna get so many boosters.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get superpowers.
Hopefully.
I'm gonna turn into Thanos. It's either that or I have to get plastic surgery to make my chin look like a nutsack.
Just shave lines.
I'm not gonna do that. Why do
But
people
yeah.
shave their eyebrows?
I don't know.
Like that line.
They pencil them in. They shave them off. And
No,
then they
yeah,
draw
no,
them on.
no. I'm talking about like people that actually like shave a notch in
Oh.
their eyebrow.
I don't know.
It's fashion. Why don't you remind me of that guy that got a tattoo of a scar on his eye.
Yeah.
I'm so badass. No, you're not. Come here.
Yeah.
I got a knife in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I could do that.
No problem.
Plus, there's actual places that do scarification right now, which they
Yeah.
literally just remove chunks of your skin and let it scar over.
It's fucking weird.
You don't like scarification?
Not really.
You don't want to get a brand?
No,
Huh?
not really. I'll stick with tattoos.
I don't understand where body mods got so far. Like, yeah, tattoos, piercings, maybe stretching of the earlobes and shit. I don't know what it's actually called.
Gaping.
That's an entirely different activity.
Yeah.
You Google gaping right now and
Do it.
see what comes. No,
I'm not
not
doing
you.
I'm not
You.
doing it. No, I know it. Their asshole falls out.
Hey Google. I don't want to actually do that. It's not even fucking weird ads for Amazon.
But yeah, you know who got gaped? Thanos.
Oh.
He got his shit kicked in. Very.
I think he just had an even fight, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand how they're so. Like, I think a lot of people got nerfed for the MCU, specifically Thanos' children, because they're like in the comics, from my understanding, like they're on par with the Hulk.
Yeah.
Where in this one, like one of them just gets stepped on by Scott in giant form and is just dead.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, that one was a little rough to. At least Maw was like, he seemed pretty threatening.
Yeah.
Mostly in Infinity War. But yeah, they definitely got nerfed all the hell for this, which probably makes a lot of sense because you don't want to take from the ultimate bad guy, and you don't want you need the heroes to be able to get to that final battle.
Yeah.
So it makes a little bit sense on the MCU's part, but yeah, when you see all these characters, you're like, holy fuck, this guy's gonna be on the thing, or this bad guy's gonna be the villain for this movie, and you're just like, wow, he got his shit rocked. Like, not at least with this one with Thanos, like the only way they could truly defeat him was using the stones.
Yeah, or teaming up. Like, I think if Captain Marvel, Captain America, and Thor came together, the three of them could definitely take Thanos. But if it was just the four of them fighting.
Yeah.
Like, no Thanos army, no nothing like that. No one else can interfere. And even then, it would still be a very, very close fight. Maybe even not Captain America. Maybe just I'd say Thor and Captain Marvel could probably take on Thanos in the MCU, because that's where I think it's almost better not to be a fan of the comics, because then you don't have to watch like your favorite characters get nerfed into oblivion.
Yeah.
One of the biggest examples I can think of is Darwin from X-Men. Like, his power is literally to be able to adapt to anything. He was fighting Hela in the comics, and in order to save himself, his body transformed into a god of death.
Yeah.
You're telling me he couldn't take like a little bit of energy? Like, oh, how many watts you got on that one? 61. Shit, I'm only rated for 60. Time to fucking burn up.
Yeah.
Come
I really
on.
hope they bring him back in some form
I want
for the
him like
MCU.
I want actual Darwin. Because
Mm-hmm.
like if you see him in the comic books, he looks like an alien all the time.
Just prevent sunburn.
No, it's just that's the form his body takes to like it's the optimal form to survive Earth.
Okay,
Maybe he breathes more nitrogen or something like that. I don't know because we have a very nitrogen rich atmosphere.
that could be it.
I don't know. I would love to see more of Darwin. I would love to see more of the X Men, well, certain X Men, and just because some of them are fucking overplayed. Like Jean Grey's had her moment.
Yeah, I'm fucking over that. And every every actress that gets well, the one in the original trilogy wasn't too bad. Wasn't a fan of Sophie Turner's Jean Grey. I don't know. I just find the character so whiny. And then you pair that with Cyclops, who's also fucking whiny in those ones, anyways. That's why I prefer. I don't know. Maybe I relate more to Logan because he's like he goes through all that stuff, and you just like you either get angry or you just um, don't really complain much. But yeah, the Fox X Men, fuck, they're just a bunch of babies.
Yeah, I didn't mind the new Cyclops. Actually, I don't mind Cyclops as a character in either of them. Um, the new actor I thought was kind of rebellious, but at the same time, like he's supposed to be playing a teenager, right?
Yeah,
Um, I really enjoyed the old ones. Specifically, like, whoa, whoa, how do we know you're you? Like, you're a dick.
yeah. All
Fair enough.
right. Yeah. See, like in the first movie, yeah, I didn't mind him, but I guess maybe just I didn't like the um, over exaggeration, or maybe not over exaggeration, but the heartbroken Cyclops. I wasn't a big fan of. So I don't know.
Is that because you watched it around a breakup?
I don't think so.
Like,
Yeah, actually,
fuck that bitch. And
could
then you
be.
saw that movie, you're like, oh, fuck this
Yeah.
bitch.
um. Oh wait, no, it wasn't a breakup. She just died, disappeared.
What? Who the fuck was that?
Jean.
Oh, I thought you were talking about you.
No.
Who the fuck died?
Who knows?
Fucking going
Could be
through all
anyone.
your weird exes.
But yeah, back to the end game. What other spots were there that I thought were really well done? One of the ones that I thought was not a ruined moment, but definitely could have been either written better. Was when Tony figured out time travel. He was just messing around. He did it, and then when it showed success, and then he fell like backwards, the look on his face made it seem like he was gonna be like, "Oh wow, like I can do this." But it was, almost for me it was ruined when he was just like shit, and then his kid just said shit too, and I'm just like, all right, I guess yeah that could happen, but the way his face was, I wasn't expecting that to be the reaction, like the words that would come out the next. It was more like when he sat down in the chair. To me, it seemed more of a surprise and fear almost in his facial expressions. Um, so that part kind of pulled me out a little bit.
I actually really liked it. Uh, I agree with you. Like his face was like shock and fear a little bit, and I think that was due to the fact like he wasn't trying to solve it. He just had a random inspiration from looking at the picture of him and Peter, and he's like, "Well, we'll try it out and then see how it works." And then once it actually works, he falls back into the chair, and I think the shit was it was a cross between like "Holy shit, I did it" and "Holy shit, I did it."
Yeah.
Because like he wants to save the people. That's what he's been doing his entire life, is saving people. Well, not his entire life. The most productive parts of his life, he's been
Yeah.
saving people, and he gave it up. Like when he gave Cap his fucking little nano machines, like he gave it up, and then he was realizing at that point, like, I gotta do it.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I think the shit was. It was like a mixture of like, holy shit, I did it, but also shit, I have to go risk my life to save everyone else. Like that's who I am. Um,
Yeah.
Even if he didn't realize it at the time, um, that's what he was gonna do. Like even as soon as he told Pepper that he solved time travel, she knew in a heartbeat. Like, yeah, okay, he's going to save the world. That's just who he is. And I think that's she's learned that throughout her entire life, is that Tony will always, even though he acts like an asshole all the time, he will always put people before himself.
Yeah.
As we're going through this as well, I'm noticing a lot of parallels between Endgame and the first Iron Man movie. Like you start out Tony's happy-ish in both movies, and then he gets into a situation that he can't control. No matter how hard he tries, like with trying to break out and trying to get the engines to actually fucking start, and then you see him like defeated pretty much, like when he was sending the message to Pepper, I guess recording the message for Pepper,
Yeah.
and then talking with Jensen, and just like realizing the shit stick of a situation that he's in, and the final, well, not final words in this movie, but final words in Iron Man were, "I am Iron Man." That's something that I will never get over. I don't know if that was like planned from day one, or they just realized like into writing Endgame that they could use the exact same line.
It was an editor
Was
that
it?
came up with it. Yeah. They were editing the film,
Mm-hmm.
and originally it was just Tony just snaps.
Oh, okay.
Like
Yeah.
there's no dialogue or anything like that. He just snaps, um, and it happens.
Yeah.
And then as they were editing, the editor was like, "Hey, like, I feel like you should say like there should be more to this. Like it doesn't feel." And then that's when they came up, and originally, RDJ didn't want to do it because you have to get yourself in like a certain emotional
Mm-hmm.
mindset for that scene. And he's like, I really, I just like, I don't think I can get there. Like, and then they finally did, and that's when we got the very end of Tony's life where he says, "I am Iron Man,"
Mm-hmm.
which was a perfect like finish to the character arc, through and through.
Well, it started and it ended on the same four words,
Yeah,
or three. I don't. Is Iron Man hyphenated? Does a hyphenated word count as one word or two?
I don't know. I think one.
Comment down below.
Yeah. um, but yeah, and speaking of that final snap, for those of you that watched the movie, you guys know. But basically, Tony ends up snaking all the Infinity Stones after he realizes that they can be taken out because Thanos takes out the Power Stone to fucking crank Captain Marvel. He gets it, and he does the snap that gets rid of Thanos and Thanos' army and anything to do with Thanos in the universe. Um, and that final scene of Tony just dying and the other ones, that one was really well done. You see Rhodey. He was upset, but didn't really say anything. The breakdown of Peter Parker and Tom Holland, you can hear he was constantly calling him, always called him Mr. Stark, and then you can hear it like just at the near the end before he gets pulled off. He says Tony, and then Pepper Potts coming in at the end, just letting him know after she reads his vitals, she's like, "We're gonna be okay. It's okay. You can basically like you can rest now.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to be okay. And it was one of those things that not only is it impactful for the movie, but impactful for the actor himself, knowing like he started this, he helped start this, he helped cast a lot of people and talk a lot of people to the roles. And for a send off for him, be like, it's okay, like we've got it from here. Thank you for doing your part. You can rest now. And that scene right there, that one was like the only thing in the theaters that you heard were people sniffling because of how emotional that scene was and how emotional the whole journey of that character was.
There was one other thing I heard though, because I hadn't eaten before.
Yeah.
So everyone's like, "Shut up."
Yeah. That could also been too. We watched it twice in the same day
Yeah.
when it first came out.
Did we pay for both of those, or did we just
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
what?
we bought both of them. I bought one and then you bought the other.
Okay, fair. I'm gonna scam those. Excuse me, motherfuckers out of money. $30 for popcorn?
Yeah. So I don't usually buy. I just buy coffee now.
Yeah, but now there's no coffee in the fucking movie theater by our place.
Yeah, it's real.
Then they won't let you bring Tim Hortons in.
Well, they said it last time.
Outside.
Yeah, Buddy tried to stop me, and he was just like, "Oh, you can't really." I was like, "No, I'm bringing it in." Yeah. So you're.
We have two options here. Yeah. Either we're gonna fight, or you're gonna let me through, sir. And let me just tell you, I am willing to go buy another coffee after I throw this one in your goddamn face. Fun fact: Stan Lee, his cameo, which was him like blowing by the military base and says, "Make peace, not war," whatever the fuck he said. That look was actually based off how he looked in the 70s.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I don't know if it was if it was his decision. I think it was. He's just like, yeah, no, this is like what I wore. This is how I looked, which I thought was really, really well done. Unless you know, like someone just watching this movie for the first time and not knowing all about all of the MCU Stan Lee cameos, I don't think they would have clocked it. The makeup was that well done. Like you couldn't tell it was Stan Lee unless you know who Stan Lee is. Mm-hmm. Even then, the only really cue is his voice. Like it didn't really look like old man Stan Lee.
Yeah.
Which I thought was well done. Another thing that I found out was that the I Love You 3000, Robert Downey Jr.'s kids actually say that to him. Or used to say that to him, I guess. I don't know how old they are. I'm assuming they're kind of old now. But yeah, he I guess he let the producers know, and they decided to like throw that in the movie as a little nod.
I think too they ended up like the 3000. It was actually the amount of minutes of the whole Infinity Saga.
Oh, is it?
Actually it went 3,000 minutes. And that that line too, not said from the character Morgan, who's his daughter in this, but when he says that at the end, when they're playing the last final message, just before his funeral, like that one there too got me. I was like, oh my god, the whole scene, like from when he snaps to like when he close everything off and everything's done, up until I think when Barton and Wanda are talking.
Yeah.
But that whole section, that's just an emotional roller coaster, regardless of how many times I've seen it. Those scenes always end up getting me.
Yeah, especially because you see like all the characters. It's I didn't write it down, but I probably should have. It's interesting to note like the locations of everyone. Mm-hmm. I was kind of expecting the kid from Iron Man 2? 3? Yeah. I was expecting him to be a little bit closer up, but I guess no one really knows about him. He's probably just a random, like the Pepper is just a random amount of money. It gets sent to him every month or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm glad I'm pretty sure that was the same actor.
Yeah, it was.
It looked very similar, yeah. I'm trying to remember where everyone was in that scene.
Well, it went Pepper and Morgan first, then Happy and Rhodey, And behind them was, I think, Cap.
Yeah, Captain and Thor.
Yeah.
And then it was Peter and Aunt May.
Yeah. And then the
Um,
Guardians. And then it transitioned over to Hank, Scott, all those guys.
mhm.
Or might have went there first and then to the Guardians. And then to T'Challa. Who else was there behind T'Challa? What other group was there? Fuck. I don't think it went from T'Challa to the kid.
Yeah, it was. I thought it was
Yeah.
T'Challa to the kid, and then
Ross and
Ross and Hill.
Hill, and then to Fury.
No, then to
Captain Marvel, and then Fury. Yeah.
Fuck, what was I gonna say?
Oh, Clint and his family were there too.
Yeah.
They were, I think, just after Thor.
Mm-hmm. Trying to remember where fucking Anthony Mackie and Winter Soldier were, because I'm pretty sure they were both there.
Yeah, they were.
But yeah, it's just interesting to know like where everyone is at the funeral. I didn't know if it was like a joint funeral for pretty much everyone that died because of Thanos, which is at that point 3 people that they would know of, anyways. I liked and disliked the interaction between Happy and Morgan.
Yeah.
It kind of builds on their relationship, and I think we're gonna see more of Happy and Morgan in the MCU. But well, I guess the kid was kind of young. I'm just like, I didn't like it because the kid didn't seem phased by her own father's death. But then again, the kid's young. You don't know if they actually explained everything to her. Like, it's like, oh yeah, no, Dad's just he's on a different farm, one of the other properties that we have. But you can definitely see like the emotion in Happy when he's like, yeah, you hungry? Yeah. What do you want? Cheeseburgers? And he's like, your dad liked cheeseburgers. I'm gonna get you all the cheeseburgers you want.
Yeah. That was good. I think the one of the other things that people either disagreed with or just didn't have a clue, depending on who I see type it, like a lot of them just don't have a clue, is when Barton and Wanda are talking. They have, like, I feel like a special connection, like almost like a mentor-mentee thing. But and Clint basically says, he's like, I wish that I could tell her that we won. And he's talking about Natasha, because Natasha is the one that sacrificed herself so that they get the Soul Stone. And then Wanda says she knows, and then she says they both know. And a lot of people were saying that she was either talking about her brother or like someone else, like random.
Talking about Viz.
But yeah, 100%. You're talking about Vision. Like, if you think anything else, then you're an idiot.
Yeah.
She was clearly talking about Vision when she said they both know, because Vision was like her best friend, her love, and just like how Natasha was super close with Barton, and like their friendship was there. But yeah, I read like multiple things, and I was just like, "You're fucking stupid! Like, why? There's no way she's talking about anyone else but Vision."
Yeah. Like, well, I get some people how they could mistake it, because they're like, well, what about WandaVision? What about WandaVision? It's like, well, she's freaking out and like back in her grief about Viz in that, because she just found his decimated body that they'd been experimenting on for 5 years.
And it wasn't her brother. People thought she was talking about Tony.
Why would you fucking be talking about Tony?
Yeah, he knows. He knows they won. He was the reason they won.
He's the entire like.
Yeah.
I don't think his last thoughts were, "Fuck, I wonder if that worked."
Yeah.
It better of, this shit stinks.
Yeah, 100%. And I was just like, there's no way. Like, I'm reading this thread, and I'm just like, there's no way. You literally think that she's talking about Tony.
Yeah. I did have a few questions about Tony like using the stones, because when Bruce put on the glove, there was probably about 30 to 45 seconds, or like 30 seconds to a minute, of him just struggling to take the power.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know if his Iron Man suit was maybe channeling some of the power out of him, so he wasn't as fucked up because he was able to talk, and he wasn't really reacting to having all the stones in his hand or in his attached to him.
Yeah.
Which I thought was kind of weird, or maybe that just shows like he knew that was the end, so he had just like no pain, no nothing. I just got to get this done.
Yeah. Either that or something I thought of is maybe because his suit's nano. The gauntlet wasn't really. I don't think it was more just like a sort of like a grow or had the parts. It might have been somewhat nano, but throughout the entire MCU, you've always seen every time he makes a new suit, like he's added something in
Yeah.
that he thinks. So it's possible that after seeing what it did to the Hulk, he realized, oh, I need like such and such thing, and then because his suit's nanites, it was able to better like make the adaptation rather than having to like build a new suit or something like that. So maybe he knew like, oh, I need this in order to hold the things. It definitely is off, but to me, I figured it's either like, yeah, he knows like that's the end, or there was some adjustment he made using the nanites to help him hold it a little bit better.
I think it was honestly just probably the suit. Like it was because it's just pure energy and radiation, right? So, in my mind, it's either like he's just straight up he knows this is the end, so fuck it, no, I'm not gonna feel any pain, or like the energy was actually coursing through this suit instead of just his body, because like
Mm-hmm.
Bruce, even if it was nanites, like it was just a glove, right?
Yeah.
So then there's nothing else, but Tony had the full suit on, and we've seen the suit absorb like lightning from Thor and shit like that, so it seems viable. I don't think he would have had time in between the first snap um, to like make any adjustments like that.
Yeah.
I don't know if he could do it on the fly, but he might have had something already in there. So I think it must have been his suit channeling out the energy, um, just so that he could get the snap off.
Yeah.
Like that. That makes the most sense to me because I just don't understand how Tony, unless he like achieved godlyhood by sacrificing, like in the last 10 seconds of the fight scene, he could have wielded Mjolnir, 100%, no doubt in my mind.
Oh yeah.
Um, I want more of Mjolnir,
Mm-hmm.
but well, one is crushed and the other one is in an infinite time loop,
Yeah.
which is just fucking shenanigans.
Yeah. And I think well, that was another end scene that ends up setting up the um, Falcon and the Winter Soldier. But when Cap goes back and jumps past his port, because they got to put all the stones back, or else it's going to create a bunch of fucked up realities. Um, and then when he hands over the shield to Anthony Mackie, originally like Mackie had no clue. Um, Chris Evans actually broke it to him like on accident. It was just like, hey, like this end scene, like I'm giving you the shield, like this is amazing. And then Maggie's just like, what?
Huh?
And so they ended up doing they showed him the scene, and then they had like a moment in the trailer and stuff like that. But his reaction in that to actually like when Cap says after he's like, oh, it feels like it's someone else's, and then he's like, it's not. Um, that's either the acting or maybe it was the overwhelmingness of the scene itself and knowing um, the excitement that's going to come along with that role. Um, but it was fantastic. It felt real. That reaction from Anthony Mackie in that whole scene felt very real,
Yeah.
which was great. And now they're going on, and I feel like they're doing much better in the newer season stuff about especially dealing with either heavy topics or not using as much humor to pull away from the things. Like really, Bucky's Bucky's whole thing in Falcon the Winter Soldier didn't seem like things were pulled too much away, like for like his PTSD and stuff like that. There was definitely certain comical moments in there, but I don't think anything that pulled away kind of like how it did with early on in the MCU with Tony and then with Thor, almost pulling you away from the emotionalness and trying to ignore the men in fear and in pain.
I'd have to rewatch it because I don't quite remember, but I think he's also had a lot more time to deal with his PTSD and everything like that. Because like his time in Wakanda was spent getting rid of the brainwashing, and then I think obviously after that they definitely did some therapy, so that like he had his head on straight before the end of the MCU.
Yeah.
Which you get a little bit between the interaction, which I also wanted to talk about between Steve and Bucky when I kind of called it from the interaction that I knew Steve wasn't coming back after he left for the last time traveling, just because of the interaction between him and Bucky. Like Steve and Bruce and Steve and the Falcon were just it's like, yeah, no, what up? We're like, we'll see you in a second. You're gonna drop the stones off. We'll be bros in 2 minutes. But as soon as he turned to Bucky, like just the from the first hug, you knew it was different. You knew, like, you just felt Bucky knew something that no one else did. And I think if you go back and watch it, you can kind of see him picking up on hints like Steve's done. Steve has no more fight left in him. Like he after seeing Tony sacrifice himself, I think Steve was probably just like, how long until that's me?
Yeah.
Like, and I don't have the loved ones to like carry on my memories, my legacy. Like everyone's just gonna remember me as Captain America instead of Steve America.
Yeah.
Rogers. I forgot his last name. But yeah, I really like the subtle acting in this movie. There's a lot of stuff that unless you're paying attention to the characters and the way they talk normally, and you're not going to pick up on it. This is definitely a movie that I think you should watch multiple times.
Yeah.
Something I do want to do is watch it in the IMAX or whatever the hell they released on Disney Plus, because I saw on TikTok with Stride Goofy, I think it changes the tones of the scenes like a lot.
Yeah.
One example is the last message from Tony Stark. In the normal one, the normal at home release, you saw just the people on the couch, like just I think it was Happy, Morgan, and Pepper.
Yeah.
And in the that makes it emotional because obviously it's like people that have been with him either almost his entire life or his daughter. But in the IMAX version, it's zoomed out a lot more, and you can see I think it's Cap and Thor standing behind the couch.
Yeah.
Which it just changes the entire tone of the scene from like an emotional family moment to emotional team moment almost.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm struggling to come up with things. Like I'm just grasping at straws to like give some negatives to the movie, because this is like as close to perfect as you're gonna get.
Yeah. I think honestly, I already knew going into it. I said last week, like, this is gonna be the highest rated movie. Like, I know I can't give it a 10 because nothing is perfect, and I even
Kung Pao.
that's true.
Or Pootie Tang.
Yeah.
Remember that one?
I guess we should do a shitty kung fu watch through.
Just shit movies.
Yeah.
Go through Rotten Tomatoes, see anything that's rated 1 star or less.
That would hurt so much to watch.
So much Amy Schumer.
Yeah. But yeah, it's tough, and honestly, like, I can point out the two things that we did mention, a couple things that either didn't make sense or didn't seem to fit with us. And honestly, the two main ones that I think that will be what bring down the rating from a 10 for me is when Hulk goes to give Scott some tacos. He gives 2, and Scott only gets one.
Yeah.
So a little error there. And then I think in the big battle scene, there's like giant Ant-Man is in like two different spots.
Oh yeah, no, he's small in one shot and then like big in the background at the same time.
Yeah, something like that. So it's just those two things realistically. Like, yeah, everything else is just super nitpicky type deal just to get it down from um, off to 10. But it's hard, and it was one of those movies again where even though we've seen it so many times, I noticed we were pretty much silent throughout the entire thing. Just pulled right in. The effects were all great. The conversations, the dialogue between the characters, the script was written well. Um, the the music itself all helped pull you in. And one of the song at the very beginning when they actually get to the Marvel logo and the Avengers logo, Dear Mr. Fantasy, that was specifically chosen for that, just for that beginning line. Um, Dear Mr. Fantasy, play us a tune, play us something not to feel. I can't remember the lyrics, either so bad or so sad.
Make us all feel happy.
Yeah, plays a tune to make us all feel happy, and it's a perfect song choice and a perfect line to start out because you left Infinity War down. Like you just saw all your heroes and they fucking lost, and they lost big. And then they think they can fix it, and then they realize they can't because Thanos snapped the Infinity Stones out of existence. And that one there, mixed with the orchestral music throughout, that helps you feel the scenes even more. The acting was all great. It's fucking hard to say anything bad about this movie, and it's literally not because we enjoy it so much. Like, I went in after starting doing these podcasts and the more movie like analytics and stuff like that. I go into movies now looking for like the things that we talk about, and trying to find the negatives and what I think they could do better. And this one I really can't.
Yeah, no, there's not a whole lot. Like the things that I've talked about are pretty much the only things I can think of negative about this movie. I just found out, by the way, that Tony's weight loss was special effects.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, which kind of makes sense because you don't want to have him like lose a bunch of weight either at the beginning or the end of the film.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just little shit that doesn't actually bug me as much. I'm just going into like I have to find something wrong with the movie because like I already know basically all the positives about it. I can talk about that for fucking hours. It's trying to find something wrong with the movie, and it's hard to do, and especially with these ones because it's at the end of that phase of the MCU, and I think by that time they already have the process down.
Yeah.
Some things I didn't know about this were that Ant-Man and the Wasp was filming at the exact same time as Endgame.
Oh, okay.
And Captain Marvel. They were shooting not at the exact same time, but like similar timelines to it. So I guess the Russo brothers and whoever directed Captain Marvel, they like swapped scripts and gave each other pointers on it. And the first time you see Brie Larson in Endgame is the very first shot that she did for either movie.
Yeah.
So she did, I believe they said that she did all her Endgame stuff first, and then they filmed Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
I would like speaking of Captain Marvel, I would like an answer as to like what's up with the haircut. I'm assuming my thing is probably the most accurate, where she like shaved her head for Maria Rambeau or whatever her first name was. I can't remember.
Either that or I think that haircut's more accurate to the comic book Danvers too, but I don't think if they were going to go for comic accurate, they would have done it in the first
Yeah.
movies, like the first Captain Marvel and then through Infinity War. So I think you're as close to spot on with that prediction and that reasoning for the hair, because it also, like, she doesn't get the way she's explaining why she's gone is a logical reason, but I think her tone almost sounds defensive.
Yeah.
Like it's not just like, come on, like there's other planets out here that need our help, and stuff like that. It was quick, reactive, so like you hit a nerve. So
Yeah.
I think you're right on that one, where it's to deal with that, and then unfortunately you don't find out that until you watch WandaVision, but
Yeah, which I think you're gonna. I would assume with more of Photon, you're definitely gonna see more of Carol Danvers. So it'll probably be explained in that series, but you gotta fucking wait.
yeah,
Which that's the only thing I hate about the MCU is that you have to fucking wait.
yeah,
Granted, they loop around and they generally tie off all the loose ends and they answer all the questions. It's just sometimes you got to wait a couple of years, or fucking deep dive back into the movies and TV shows and catch something that you missed.
yeah. Which it definitely is rough. I fucking hate weekly releases. That's why I hated TV.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta wait for the next week to find out, but they do it well for the MCU, and I don't think they do it. Like they don't really leave a lot of like questions unanswered. I think it's the characters that you're missing out.
Yeah.
So that one there, the Carol Danvers one, that one's good, and it was one of those things like, oh, maybe you didn't. It's almost like you didn't figure that out until after you watch like WandaVision, and you're like, oh, maybe like here's a connection. But one of the things I'm concerned about, and I'm really gonna be pissed until the next time I see him, is with this new Hawkeye episode, and they drop Kingpin, and there's only one episode left for the Hawkeye series, which he's obviously going to be involved in that episode.
Yeah.
But then by the time that's done, I want more Kingpin.
Yeah.
And when am I going to see that? And it could
Spider-Man.
I don't know. I think if he's going to be in Spider-Man, it's not going to be crazy. Like it'll be like a slight cameo.
Yeah.
So I don't know if he's gonna pop up in one of the other ones like She-Hulk. I don't think he'll pop up in Moon Knight. But like there's other TV shows that are coming. Don't have release dates for yet, unfortunately. But so far, all I know is that I've got Hawkeye's finishing. Gonna go see the next Spider-Man. And then I think the next Marvel movie after that, at least MCU, is not till March for Doctor Strange. But at least there's another Marvel movie. Morbius will be out. I think it comes out in January.
Yeah. Here's hoping.
Yeah, fucking Omicron. God, stop making variants. Just stop going outside.
One more variant. Maybe two. Because you got the Omicron, and now you got to get the Persei and maybe 8 or Persei 8. Omicron Persei 8. I am Lur.
I can't believe they called it that.
Hey, they're not smart, man. They're fucking 80 years old.
Yeah.
I think we should... Did you know that there's a law that says if you're not a certain age, I think it's around 30, 35, you can't become a politician? But there's no maximum age.
There should 100% be a maximum age.
Yeah, 100. Here, you know what? Here's the test. Open this fucking phone and find a specific app. If you can't do that, Get out.
Yeah.
You can't understand how to work technology that is fucking vital. Well, maybe not vital to survival, but like it is part of everyday life.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out.
100%.
There is no need for you to be making laws. Like, no wonder the minimum wage hasn't changed. They're like, well, it was fine when I was young. Yeah, it was 100 years ago, asshole. Things have changed.
Yeah. Adapt with the times.
No, can't do that. I gotta make money and give none to anyone.
Yeah.
Did you know why in the Pandora Papers, I believe, were the newest one that got leaked, there's almost no American celebrities and big names that have offshore accounts? It's like Canadians and everyone else in the world.
Yeah.
Because Americans don't have to put their money in a separate bank account, offshore bank account, to not pay taxes. All they got to do is tell the government, be like, yeah, I don't want to pay taxes. And they're like, yo, that makes sense. Here's $5 million in relief funds.
There's all my things, all my houses. They put everything in liquid assets.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, no, I got no money. I was like, motherfucker, you own 100 properties worth over $10 billion collectively. Sell one, pay your taxes. Elon Musk.
Yeah.
Jeff Bezos.
Fucking rich.
What's his name?
Did you hear that?
Bill Gates.
His
What a
little.
guy.
Bill Gates is actually impressive.
Yeah,
like
no,
he
he's
makes
a
a
great
lot,
guy.
but he donates a lot. But Bezos' little space trip, like unloaded like a lifetime worth of carbon
Oh, yeah.
into the atmosphere.
Yeah. Doesn't surprise me.
And he didn't even go to space.
Yeah, just cruising around the atmosphere.
Yeah.
I don't understand how they can be like, oh, yeah, no, it's great for the economy. How?
Yeah.
You take taxpayer money and don't pay taxes. Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos collectively have paid less taxes in the past 5 years than I have.
Yep.
That doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah. It's a broke ass system.
At least Bill Gates isn't like swinging, like he's swinging his dick around in the good way. Like he wants to eliminate malaria instead of joining the space race.
Yeah.
Like, do something useful with your money. Well, we're going to Mars. I'm going to make a Mars colony. The only people that are stupid enough to get trapped on Mars are not the people you want trapped on Mars.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, where are you going to find all these people that you're, oh, yeah, no, you'll get a loan from us, and then we'll ship you to Mars, and then by working there, you'll pay off your loan. What? Why does no one see that as a bad idea? Like, there was hundreds of thousands of people that were lining up for it. They're like, oh, yeah, I'll do that. I'll do that. You're fucking dumb.
Yeah.
Let me put it this way. I'm going to drive you 18 hours into the bush. So far that if I leave without you, you're going to die. And I'm going to leave you there. Unless you pay me money.
Yeah.
But every time you give me money, it's not going to be enough.
Yeah. Oh, this will get you 1 kilometer.
No.
100
feet.
Yeah.
I dictate the terms. And every time you sass me, that's 50 feet off. Currently, it's $1,000 for negative 250 feet. That was a weird tangent.
Yeah. People just we gotta get with times. We gotta save the world, just like the Avengers. We gotta get with the times, just like how Peter Parker's gonna have to do in our last movie in the Infinity Saga, which we will watch and give a review next week. Spider-Man: Far From Home.
The next week or the week after? Is that going to be our one last? Because that next week's like Christmas.
Next week will be the last one.
Okay.
We'll do a holiday break. So we'll be back again on Wednesday, maybe Thursday. Live at twitch.tv/bytherailside to record live. We will release the final episode on Boxing Day. So you can catch that. Then we're going to take about a week off, recharge the old batteries, and then we'll be back at it. We're going to, maybe we'll just do like a little catch-up episode, talk about our holidays, and then we'll find out, you guys will find out what we're going to be reviewing next and what we're going to take a look at.
Could be anything. Make a suggestion down below.
Yeah. Yeah. What do you want? What do you want us to watch? What do you want us to see?
Looking at you,
Review?
Jeff.
Yeah. We'll do it, even if it's really bad, or if it's really good, or
If it's just sort of.
we're not doing porn though. Don't suggest a lot of it. I can see you.
Yeah, I know. That's fine. I'll do it.
But first, before we let you go completely, we're gonna get our ratings in on
9.85.
Endgame. Mine's a 9.9.
I'm giving it a 9.8.
All right.
9.85. Quick math.
Oh, round up 9.9.
Fuck.
Only do two. Oh yeah, and then I guess we'll on that last episode or after our break we'll go through and we'll organize, and so we'll give you our list of worst to best for the MCU. So we got a 9.9 from us for Endgame. Let us know what you guys think on all our socials. And you guys enjoy your holidays. Spend time with the people that matter
And are vaccinated?
and are vaccinated. And spend time with the people that bring you cheer. Fuck bringing other people cheer. Just spend time with people that make you happy.
What'd you get me for Christmas? I brought you cheer. And then you hear rumbling coming from the driveway. Spirit! Spirit! I don't know any cheers. I was straight in high school.